I believe in me.
I believe in me.
I believe in you.
I believe in you.
Stand strong. You are powerful.
Stand strong. You are inspiring.
We are fighters. We are ambitious.
We are extraordinary. We are conquerors. Simply Straight Talk, our voices will be heard.
This is Simply Straight Talk. Tune in now, you don't want to miss out. Real conversation, plenty motivation. Keep you thinking and still entertaining. Yeah, I know that you'll enjoy the mottos. Free your voice, it's your choice. Hosted by Reggie B, but you already know. And you gotta check them out and how we roll. Hey, ain't nothing off the table. Give it to you straight. Changing your mindset, talking past mistakes. You ain't gotta wait, time to take off. This is Simply Straight Talk.
I'm Melissa, and this is the Simply Straight Talk podcast, a podcast for the people. Reggie, Angelique, and I enjoy discussing real-life topics that we as real people who are constantly out here on a grind and hustle deal with every day. Stick around for the real talking tips that will help you rise above the rest. Let's start this show.
You may feel blue.
If you're struggling with thoughts of suicide, are worried about a friend or loved one, or in need of emotional support, help is available.
Call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK to speak to a counselor, or visit suicidepreventionlifeline.org.
It's free, confidential, and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Even if it feels like it, you are not alone.
Give life your best, and I know you can win. You see, as a friend, I'm here for you. You should know that.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Simply Straight Talk podcast with your man, Reggie. And listen, we got a great topic for you today. I think everyone needs to hear it. Definitely an episode you need to share. I would appreciate if you were to share all of them. But I think this is one that you definitely need to share. But listen, before we get into it, I just want to thank everybody for listening and tuning in. Thank you for everybody who's now joining the YouTube channel. Thank you for everybody who's chiming in on the website. And for those of you who are following us, even on our Facebook page for Simply Straight Talk, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the love and support. Thank you for everybody for sticking with the show. Those of you who have been with us from the beginning, much love, appreciate you. And I'm definitely going to set up some gifts and prizes for everybody. But I just want to say thank you, man. And I really, really appreciate all the support that everybody's given to the show. Now, today, the topic is inside I'm hurting and I'm quitting. Now, earlier today, I actually released a YouTube video where I'm basically talking about a suicide message and just a suicide conversation about suicide. And I wanted that conversation to be directly more towards higher education, since we are having a lot of our younger people who are committing suicide, who are athletes, they're in college at such a young age. So today's show, I want to focus on the hurt that people feel on the inside. And sometimes we don't realize that they're quitting. We don't realize that they're giving up. Because believe it or not, a person can participate in something and give 100%, but it's not for them. It's for the people around them. It's not to mask anything. It's because they really do care about the people around them. They care about their teammates. They care about their family. They care about their friends. They care about their job, the people that work on their job. But that same love and care and dedication towards other people and other activities, it doesn't exactly roll back into them. So they care more about other people than they do themselves, because they are dealing with a hurt and a pain that they are struggling with internally. And sometimes they may drop hints that they're dealing with something, that they're going through something. Sometimes people will catch it. Sometimes people will blow it off as just general conversation. But I don't think people are blowing it off consciously. I think people are just not connecting the dots, because when somebody is struggling internally, people have become very good at putting on a show in front of other people. They become very good at it, very good at just really showing people a side of them like, hey, they're okay. They're doing good. They're laughing. They're joking. Oh, you know what? They're just focused on their schoolwork, or they're just focused on trying to start a business. But inside, that person is standing right in front of you, smiling, talking about a presentation, talking about being better, talking about other people being better, talking about volunteering. But inside, they have given up on themselves. So for what they're doing, not to fix or kind of deal with the issues in their life, they want to fix and help and contribute to other people's lives being better, because they feel like their life is just not worthy. They feel like they're not worthy of change. They're not worthy of help. They feel like it's not going to come, because inside, whatever they are struggling with, and I can't sit here and say, well, this is what they're struggling with, because people struggle with different things. People deal with different forms of depression, different forms of anxiety, different forms of hurt, different forms of disappointment. And emotionally, it takes a toll to where they just simply cannot see anything in their life being positive or productive or manifesting anything that gives them a desire or even the ability to see that they are worth something, that there's value in their life. There's value in living. They don't see it, but they see it in other people. They see the value of other people accomplishing things. They see the value of other people, of teamwork. Like you can have a football player so dedicated to the team, so dedicated to winning the game, but not dedicated to winning in his own life, her own life. And we see this a lot, but oftentimes it's very difficult for us to really recognize what's going on until after the fact, until after something has happened, something tragic, and we're seeing it on the news, we're hearing it from friends and family that this person just committed suicide, and now we're in a state of sort of disbelief. And oftentimes they will write a letter saying that it wasn't this person's fault, it was me. But I think people who are dealing with that don't understand that regardless of how sincere and loving the letter is, apologizing for what you're doing and saying that you're at peace and that you're happy, it's not going to take that burden off of those friends and family and the people that know and care about you, because they're always going to wonder, what could I have done? Why didn't I see it? Why wasn't I there? And that's a natural instinct. That's a natural way to think when somebody you love takes their life. When people deal with things internally, there could be a variety of reasons why they are not willing to share or open up about it. It could be the fact that this person has been dealing with this for so long that they just normalize that it must be something that they keep in a vault. They can't share it. They don't know how to share it. Or maybe the people around them are good people, but when maybe they tested the water about the conversation, they didn't get a good feedback. They didn't get a real open reception to going further in the conversation. So they shut down and held it inside. Because even I do that sometimes. Like I will test people that I'm close to, just kind of mention something to kind of see where they go. And it's like, okay, I don't want to have this conversation with them. And I think people do that. And I think sometimes we don't really hear what they're asking. We don't really pay attention. You know, when someone can openly say, you know what do you think about a person that commits suicide? Do you think they're quitters? Do you think they're losers? Or they're just giving up? And then a common answer that some people may say is, well, you know what? People like that just don't want help. You know, they just want attention. But that is a prime opportunity to really get into a conversation with that person. You know, when someone makes a statement or asks a question like that, you know, to me personally, I think a better answer would be, you know, I think sometimes it's just about really talking. Like if I knew someone felt like that, I would love for them to really just talk to me so I can have an understanding of what they're feeling. So I can understand them. It's not my place to judge them. It's not my place to critique them. You know, I want to listen. I want to hear. I don't think they're losers. I don't think they're quitters. I think they need an ear, and I wouldn't mind being that ear for somebody. Now, that way, you're sort of opening the door for that person. That if they want to talk further, it's like, oh, so you're saying you would listen. But the thing about it is, if a person does decide to go further and open up to you, you have to be willing to listen and understand. And that's why my YouTube video, I really talked about family members, friends, higher education people on jobs, just kind of learning how to have these conversations, learning to be a real support factor and a way to kind of get people to kind of go into counseling with licensed and certified people without fear, without judgment, without being critiqued, without feeling made to feel ashamed. They already are dealing with the shame of what they're feeling on the inside, and they don't need it from the people who supposedly love and care about them. Now, I really want to read to you the lyrics from a song. It's from Blaine Larson, and the song is called How Do You Get That Lonely? And I think this song it just really hits what I think a lot of people feel when somebody that they are related to and that or know that may be going through something, or they have experienced a friend or loved one committing suicide. And let me read the lyrics of the song to you. How do you get that lonely? How do you hurt that bad? To make you make the call that having no life at all is better than the life that you had. How do you feel so empty you want to let it all go? How do you get that lonely and nobody know? Did his girlfriend break up with him? Did he buy or steal that gun? Did he lose a fight with drugs or alcohol? Did his mom or daddy forget to say, I love you, son? Did no one see the writing on the wall? I'm not blaming anybody. We all do the best we can. I know hindsight's 20/20, but I still don't understand. How do you get that lonely? How do you hurt that bad? To make you make the call that having no life at all is better than the life that you had. How do you feel so empty you want to let it all go? How do you get that lonely and nobody knows? I love that song. And even that song speaks about a person that has committed suicide, it really does ask the questions in the lyrics. The lyrics of that song really are the questions that people ask after somebody has passed away from suicide. And I think about how everybody's talking about Alana Miller, who was a cheerleader at Southern University. The question is why? Why? When you read the posts of people after they commit suicide and the newsletters and the posts, and it's always the same thing. Why did they do it? They seem so happy. You know, I don't understand. They were such a good person. They was always smiling. They was always laughing. They was always fun to be around. I don't understand. Why did they feel lonely? I mean, the lyrics to that song are so powerful. And somebody who's experienced that can really understand. Now, a little backstory. I want to tell you why when I hear people are depressed or going through something, why it sort of touches me, why it really makes me just really passionate about this and helping people and reaching out to people and speaking life and motivation to people, or sometimes just listening, just shutting up and listening to what people have to say. When I was in the 8th grade, I was in the band because I went to Eddie Junior High School. It was Eddie, they call it middle school now, but it was Eddie Junior High School in Columbus, Georgia. And I was in the band. I played the trumpet. I love playing the trumpet. And the guy who was first chair, his name was Larry Charro. Now, me and Larry Charro were pretty cool, man. We were pretty cool, cut up jokes. The guy was really good. And sometimes he would even help me out. Learning the music and playing, getting it right. The thing about it is, he told me one day that he was going to kill himself. I laughed. I didn't tell anybody. I thought it was a joke. He said he wanted to die. He couldn't do it. And I don't know if it's just the fact that I was so young that I didn't understand. I'd never been in that situation. So when he said it, I just took it as we're a bunch of kids. We're talking. This makes no sense. I didn't think about it the way I think about it now that I'm older. It broke my heart that when we came back from the weekend, we were told that his father was a police officer. And that Larry Charro went inside his parents' room, grabbed his father's gun, and shot himself in the head and died. I didn't know what to say because the last words he spoke to me was that he wanted to die. This was my friend. My friend. That knowing what I know now, I wouldn't have took it so lightly. Now, some people may say, well, you know what? How old are you in junior high school? Like what? Maybe 11, 12? I want to say maybe somewhere between 10, 11, and 12, somewhere in there. But that's why I think that, and to speak with him every day, you would think he was fine until that one day when he said that. It's like, how do you respond to that? And, and back then they didn't teach or talk about it in schools. And come to think of it, even after it happened, there was no counseling sessions. Like nowadays, many colleges and universities and schools, they will have like a counseling session or a day to where the counselors will all come and speak to kids and talk to them. But it was kind of like, hey, it happened. You guys don't do this. All right. Continue on with your class. And I'm not putting any blame on the school for afterwards because that was a different time, a different age. This is today. So please, I enjoyed Eddie Junior High School. So no, I'm not pointing any blame, but I need you to understand what's going on. Because when a person is hurting, they're hurting on the inside. Whatever they're hurting about, it may seem small to you, but it's big to them. So if it's big to them, it has to be big to you. And people have to learn how to speak to people and listen to people when they say that they are hurting. You have to learn how to recognize the changes in people when they're hurting. Now, I know right now, if you look online, there's a lot of signs that say like a person is in depression if they exhibit these signs. And they'll talk about weight gains, lack of sleep. They'll talk about eating habits. They'll talk about irritability, anger, mood changes. But in all honesty, a lot of that people won't recognize unless you're really familiar and know that person. I mean, that's the only way a lot of that stuff you are going to be able to pick up on and say, boom, something is going on. You have to know the person. Which brings me to the fact of, do you really pay attention to the people that you call your friends? Do you really pay attention to them? That you will notice their mood changes. Somebody who didn't used to drink, all of a sudden they're now wanting to take a drink. Somebody who you notice, like I said earlier, a lot of times people will give so much of themselves to other people, but they won't take care of their own selves. They'll forsake their own self in so many ways, health-wise, physically, emotionally, but you'll always see them trying to uplift and take care of other people because they have quit. They have given up on themselves because the hurt inside, the blame, the guilt, whatever they are feeling is so bad inside that they just want to quit. How do you bring them back? How do you bring them out of I want to quit to I want to survive? We're going to talk more about this right after the break. Y'all stay with us right here on the Simply Straight Talk podcast.
We'll be back with your host, Reggie, on Simply Straight Talk.
Hey, are you looking for some great music, upbeat and with a positive voice? Well, the song I Stand With You is exactly what you need. This timeless song has a pop version sung by Audrey Carmel. And a reggae version sung by General Steele, now known as Revelation.
Now I know some days you may feel blue, Lord. Trust in your greatness to see you through.
These songs are now available on iTunes and other digital platforms for download. Don't miss out. Get your copy today.
Give life your best, and I know.
We hope you're enjoying the show. As our listeners, this show is made possible because of your support. Make sure you click the subscribe button and leave a comment. Thank you for being a part of the show, and now back to your host, Reggie Maddox.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the second part of today's show. Today's topic is I'm hurting inside and I'm quitting. Before we continue with the rest of the show, if you are feeling depressed or if you feel like you need someone to talk to, please feel free to reach out to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. They are available 24 hours, languages English and Spanish, and the number is 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-8255. And to learn more, please visit their website at suicidepreventionlifeline.org. And their website is suicidepreventionlifeline.org. Please feel free to reach out to them. I encourage you to, if you need someone to talk to for whatever reason, please reach out to them. And that number again is 1-800-273-8255. In discussion of today's show, we're talking about I'm hurting inside and I'm quitting. We're talking about the emotional distress that a person may be feeling on the inside that makes them feel like they want to give up on life. One of the things I noticed in a lot of the suicide letters is that a lot of these people are really young. A lot of our youth between the ages of 17 and 19 who are taking their life because they say they feel like they have nothing left to give. They feel like they can't overcome whatever they're dealing with. At such a young age, they feel like they have given life all that it has. Life has beaten them, and they just don't have the strength to fight anymore. They don't want to fight anymore. Now, one of the things that we have to do is really truly understand what a person is dealing with, what pressures, what stress a person may be facing in life. You know, one thing I try to tell people is, don't always assume that everybody is in a good place. Don't always assume that because you have a position of authority, you're in a position of authority, that you speaking to people or addressing people in a way that makes them feel belittled or makes them question their confidence or question their abilities is going to have a positive effect. Like I said, you don't know what somebody is going through emotionally. You know, most recently we had the whole incident with Will Smith and Chris Rock, where Will Smith walked on stage and slapped Chris Rock. You know, to most people, it was a joke. It was a joke about G.I. Jane because she had short hair. But the behind the scenes thing that I was trying to get people to understand is what is going on in the home of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. What is going on between those two? Did that medical condition affect or impact their relationship? Was he emotionally drained? Was his manhood being questioned? Was her womanhood in question? You know, there's always something behind the line. So when you're cracking jokes and you're talking about people, you're bullying people, you don't know what mental place a person is in, what they are dealing with emotionally. Do you really want to be that brick that lays somebody out to where they don't want to get up anymore? Do you really want to be that person? Because it's not a good place to be, to find out that someone has taken their life or attempted to take their life because of your bullying, of the work environment that you create, your harassment, your hurtful behavior. You know, that goes for men and women in relationships. You know when somebody's in love with you and they're giving everything they got and you take it from them. You know, we got in cases of divorce where a woman takes everything that a man has. Takes the kids, takes the house, and he can go into a state of depression. When a man does the same thing to a woman. You know, when he's in a relationship, you know, she's not happy, he doesn't treat her right, breaks up with her for no reason, she breaks up with him for no reason, and now she could be in a state of depression because she's feeling like, I gave everything. And to belittle her and make it seem like, oh, she's not a woman, she's not pretty enough, she doesn't look like a supermodel, she's not as good as this other woman. Things like that can really play a major role in how a person emotionally sees themselves. And they feel like they can never look pretty enough for anybody. They can never be woman enough. He can never be man enough. We have to consider the emotional state of people, but we have to be willing to pay attention. Now, when I spoke earlier about, 17, 18, and 19-year-olds taking their life because they feel like it's the end, I want to give you another song from Rascal Flatts called Why. And I want you to just listen to the lyrics. And it goes, now in my mind, I keep you frozen as a 17-year-old, rounding third to score that winning run. You always played with passion, no matter what the game. When you took the stage, you shined just like the sun. Oh, why? That's what I keep asking. Was there anything I could have said or done? I had no clue you were masking a troubled soul. God only knows. What went wrong and why'd you leave the stage in the middle of a song? Now the oak trees are swaying in the early autumn breeze. The golden sun is shining on my face. The tangled thoughts I hear a mockingbird sing. This old world really ain't that bad a place. Oh, why? There's no comprehending. And who am I to try to judge or explain? Oh, but I do have one burning question. Who told you life wasn't worth the fight? They were wrong, they lied, and now you're gone. And we cry. That it's just to hear that and to see that a person could be in such a dark place. And I think many of us don't realize how dark of a place that a lot of people are in. A lot of people are hurting, and a lot of people are living in a dark place internally. Internally, they're living in a dark place. And they're afraid. Some don't have anyone to talk to. Some have people to talk to, but they just feel ashamed about talking to them. We have to be willing to listen and pay attention. If you have a friend, a family member, a coworker, if you consider yourself any type of a person who has a close relationship with somebody, you need to pay attention. Pay attention to the things that you know are abnormal in their behavior. Things that they are doing that may be destructive, that goes against their beliefs or their morals. Pay attention to how a person takes care of themselves versus taking care of others. Do they live a life to where it's like, I really don't care where I stay. I really don't care if I eat, how much I eat. I don't care about my health or my well-being. But you, I care about. I care about you. I want you to live. I want you to do good. That could be a sign that that person has given up on themselves. And it's sort of a hero syndrome. They want to go out a hero. In some cases, that person may contemplate and perform the act of harming themselves. In other cases, they want a hero's death. You know, they want to be known as that person that was the friend. It's like that's their way of giving back for them not being happy with their own life. And the way they do that is by contributing more to other people, putting more into other activities and other things, making other people better, making other teams and groups and organizations better. But it's not about them. It's never about them, because they don't have that same love and compassion for themselves, that dedication. So we have to give that dedication to them. We have to help them build that and see that in themselves. We have to pay attention. How much stress are you putting on the people around you? How do you communicate to someone when they failed or they haven't met your expectation of something they should have done? And we hear it a lot of times with parents in college. You know, like, oh, you're failing out of college. You know, I'm paid a lot. I'm paying a lot of money for you to go there. You better stay in school. Maybe college is not for them. Maybe that's not the road they're meant to be on. Maybe they're only doing it just to please you. You know, maybe that man wants to be a good husband. He wants to have a better job. He wants to have a better life for you and his family. He wants that. He wants the kids to have the things they need and you to have the things they need. But you're trying to force him to go a direction that he doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to work for this company. He wants to have his own business. She wants to go back to school and she wants to do something else. But you're telling her she needs to stay home. You're telling her she needs to stay with this job. She may not want kids right now, but you're saying we got to have kids. But having kids right now may not work for the plan she has. She's not that she's not willing to have kids, just not right now. How much pressure are you putting on people? And are you paying attention to the emotional response that you're getting back? We have to be mindful of the people around us. We have to learn that we have to care enough to want to see everybody mentally healthy. We have to care about how we interact with each other. Take notice of the people that's in your life. If somebody's weighing on your mind, call. Check on people. Just go grab a cup of coffee. It ain't got to be no expensive dinner. Hey, I haven't heard from you, man. I want to go grab some coffee. I want to go grab some tea. Come on with me. Let's go have some coffee. Let's go have some tea. Get them in a place where they can talk. If you know somebody is sort of isolating themselves, do something to get that person out. Don't take them around a bunch of people, because right now what you need to do is get them around a supportive voice, a listening ear. Taking them out to a bar, everybody drinking is not going to help them. But taking them someplace where they can open up, show them that there is understanding, show them that they're not being judged, they're not going to be criticized, they're not going to be told that they're weak, they're not going to be told to man up. They're going to be told, we can get through this. Let's look up some resources, man. I'll go with you. You know, we'll set up a time. We'll go. You can talk. This is between us. We can get through this. Husband and wife need to do it together. You know, I was in a training a couple months ago. It was a mental health first aid training. And one of the scenarios was the wife was going through some things on her job and being picked on. And she started to sort of withdraw, and she was becoming like not eating. And it was just signs that she was just unhappy and just miserable and just depressed. And when the instructor asked each group in the class, as the husband, what would you do? One guy made a stupid comment and saying, oh, take her and drop her off down at the psych ward. You know, other people's like, you know, just saying just negative stuff like, oh, she need to be taken to the hospital. She need to do this. She need to do that. But when it came to my group, our response was the husband should try to find a place that he knows she loves, a place that's positive memories, good memories. Take her there and just let her relax and just say, listen, baby, I know things have been kind of hard lately. You seem like you've been going through a lot. I'm your husband. I'm here for you. I want to be here for you. I want to help you. Whatever you're dealing with, let's deal with it together. I want you to talk to me and share what you're feeling because your feelings matter. And I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to be your partner, your support factor. I'm a shoulder. I'm an ear. I'm arms. I'm a pedestal for you to stand on. That's the type of thing you want in the initial response. Give that person honest, sincere support. And, you know, and it just amazes me how quick people are to throw somebody to the side and label them as being weak. But if you are dealing with anything and you are feeling like you are struggling and you are dealing with internal pain and internal hurt, you know, you don't have to go through it alone. You don't have to feel like there's no one there who doesn't care or no one there who won't listen. Because there are people that are listening. There are resources out there where there are people who really will try to help you, who really will sit and listen and have your best interest at heart. Trust me, I understand. You know, it's hard when you don't have anybody to confide in. And I think that's what a lot of people struggle with today because a lot of people want to have somebody to connect with. It's like two male lions. When male lions bond, they bond for life. They're brothers. If one fights, the other fight. I think every male wants that connection to where he's got that brother male lion that he can rely on, that he can know got his back. Male lions, when they come up to each other and greet each other, they rub heads. Even when one lays down, the other one flops right next to him. It's not seen as anything, you know, gay or anything like that. That's the bonding process. That's the closest. That's them reaffirming their bond. Even lionesses, they do the same thing. If a lioness is about to fight, the other lioness is about to fight too. Everybody needs that connection. Everybody needs that bond, that trust in someone. And I think a lot of us are missing that because a lot of us are turning to social media to try to find that. People are posting stuff on social media looking for support, looking for someone who will offer them some positive affirmation. And sometimes you just need physical confirmation from the people around you that you matter, that you care. But I'm here to tell you that you do. You do matter. There are people that care. And if you can't find people around you, please take advantage of some of the resources that are online, like betterhelp.com. I just gave you one, the National Suicide Prevention Line. I guarantee you within your local government, colleges, universities, even jobs, most jobs have an employee program to where if you're going through something, you can consult with, you know, a group, organization, or therapist outside of the college to kind of help you. So there are resources there to help you. Please take advantage of that. Please do, because we're losing too many people, and we're losing so many young people so fast. And I truly in my heart believe that we have to find a way to educate our youth on how to cope with life. Because right now we're pushing kids through school. Then after they get out of school, saying, okay, go take on this big old world. Deal with discrimination, deal with the jobs, deal with the struggle of the economy, trying to find a place to stay, credit card, finances, medical insurance, all these things. Go buy a car, go buy this, go buy groceries. And it's a lot. It's a lot. Especially top when you're trying to find that connection, that bond with somebody who can be that emotional support, that non-judgmental, that true confidant. Listen, we're going to be right back, man. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with the final thoughts of today's show.
Free your mind, free your voice right here on Simply Straight Talk.
All right, Simply Straight Talk family. We want to return the love you have shown us back to you. Reggie will be giving away great prizes during certain Simply Straight Talk podcast shows, so make sure you subscribe and listen to the show for your chance to win. Just imagine being able to take 4 people to the movies, a free night in a hotel, a gift card with cash for a restaurant, or one of our Simply Straight Talk podcast shirts. There will be other prizes as well. For more information, visit our website at www.rmviaging.com and click on Simply Straight Talk Podcast in the menu.
Are you ready for the straight truth? Reggie, what's the final word for today?
All right, people, welcome back. And I hope you guys are really getting into this conversation and really listening and thinking about how you can use this information to maybe go out, get some education yourself about depression and suicide prevention and how you can help other people in the event that you come across a situation, and learn to recognize the signs or signals that somebody may be contemplating harming themselves, taking their life, or going into some form of depression, that you know how to do it, how to deal with it, you know how to engage them, and most of all, you know how to lead them the right way to where they don't feel forced, to where they don't feel pressured, but you lead them to resources, professional resources that can really help them. I once told somebody, man, that whenever somebody goes into a dark place, they need something to pull them out. And I think that applies to everybody. That's my personal belief. When people go into a dark place, there has to be something that they're connected to that pulls them out. Something that makes them want to go another day. Something that makes them don't feel like quitting. Today's topic was inside I'm hurting and I'm quitting. And a lot of times we feel like when a person has quit that they've given up. There's always hope to bring that person back, to reignite that fire, make them go another day. You just have to be mindful and listen and pay attention and try to understand that person, because you may not be the voice, but you may be the voice that leads them to the help that they need. Like I said, anybody out there who is struggling with depression, having suicidal thoughts, please do not hesitate to call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. They're open 24 hours, English and Spanish. And their phone number is 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-8255. And to learn more, please visit their website at suicidepreventionlifeline.org. It's very important that we truly learn to understand depression. And I think all of us, everybody, every parent, every child, every mid-adult, every teenager, every employer, employee needs to be trained and educated on mental health awareness. Because, with technology today, there's so many things that could send a person to make them feel like they're inadequate, to make them feel like they're not worthy, to make them feel like they don't care. You know, you'll be surprised, like I said earlier, how many people will seek out and really just replay material or videos or music that have a negative tone because they feel like they can identify with it, especially if that tone is of somebody hurting. People who are hurt want a connection. So when they find something that sort of symbolizes their hurt, you might find that they have built a connection to that. They're going to replay that. It'll be in their playlist. You might find like maybe it's a tattoo, maybe it's a sticker, maybe it's a symbol from a TV show or something that identifies with that they use because they connect to the hurt that they're seeing in that person, maybe on that TV show or maybe in that song. Think about this. When a person goes through a bad relationship breakup or a person is in a breakup from a relationship, what's one of the most popular things that people do? Music. They find a song that's similar to their situation. If it's a woman that cheated on a man, they will find a song about it. If it's a man that cheated on a woman, they'll find a song about it. There are songs out there that they can use. There are movies out there that people can watch, but they find something that they can connect with that says, you understand, even though it's just a song and that singer may not have experienced that. Maybe it's a movie or a TV show. They haven't experienced what that character is experiencing. No, I'm sorry. That character has not experienced what they're going through, but because the character they play, the character that they're playing is playing a role of somebody who experienced something similar to them, they build a connection to that person, a connection to that character, because they feel they're being understood. And I think we need to make a better effort to connect with people and try to understand. And one of the best ways to understand mental health is to really just educate yourself. There's a lot of local city government community programs that really offer free training. There are free classes, just a couple of hours, guys, where you can really sit there and just get a better understanding of some of the signals, some of the signs, how to communicate. You know, one of the things I did with my group, I had them take an Alzheimer's course because it helps them to understand. Having an understand of what somebody is going through helps you to relate and kind of deal with the emotional changes that you may see in that person. Vocally, how their voice tone may change. And when I say tone, I'm not talking about their voice level. I'm talking about from a positive voice to a negative voice, to a lack of confidence voice, to an unworthy voice. Listening to the words that they speak, actively listening to understand what this person is going through, and how to be a voice that leads them to where they can get on a road to help and assistance, and not making them feel like they're bad people, because they're not. We all go through things. We all struggle with things. But our jobs, our roles as humans, as people, is to figure out how we can be better emotional support for each other. The hell with race and gender, leave all that shit out of it. It's about people, humans, helping each other. Leave all the gender crap out. Leave all the black and white and color and people of color. Leave all that crap out of it. It's seeing another person that just needs some calming words, that just needs the right direction to make it another day. Because that another day can lead them to living years and being a better person. They can help somebody else. They can be a testimony for the next person to let them know, this is what I was going through. You don't have to relate to a TV show or relate to a movie. You can relate to me. Tell them about your experience and let them see that they can get out of that dark place and into a place of hope and into a place of life. Hey guys, thank you for checking out the show. As always, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. And once again, please, please, please don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid. Don't be embarrassed to reach out for help if you need it. It's there. It's around you. In the show notes of today's show, I'm definitely going to post links down below that you guys can definitely go to and reference. And please check your community. As also, like I said, if you live in a certain community and if you're not sure or don't know how to research or look it up, email me at speak@simplystraighttalk.com, speak@simplystraighttalk.com. And like I said, I'm not a therapist. I want to put that out there right now. I'm not a psychiatrist, but I have no problem researching and looking up places that or therapists that you can contact, sending you some resources that can help you out. So definitely, like I said, I'm here, man. I'm here. All right. I feel you. Trust me. More than you know. More than you know. All right. Hey, y'all stay good. Y'all stay blessed. Thank you for tuning in. Share this with somebody else, man. And do me a favor. Call somebody and tell them you love them. Call somebody and check on them. Take somebody out for tea and coffee. Ain't got to be expensive. Go sit at McDonald's and just laugh and talk for a minute. You know what I'm saying? They might need somebody to talk to. That coffee or tea just may let them know that there's some hot, better things coming in this life. All right? Thank y'all. See you next Friday.
That's it for this week's episode of the Simply Straight Talk podcast. Be sure to sign up to our email list at simplystraighttalk.com and follow us in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss our next episode. Wishing you a wonderful day from the Simply Straight Talk crew.
Simply Straight Talk with your host Reggie B. Come on, let's all join in. Free your voice, it's your choice, all right here. Oh, Simply Straight Talk.